Today we are going over one of the other Cecil nightmares, and we are going to be going over the criminal Cecil nightmare. Now, it is a 30-stage Cecil nightmare, and I'm assuming it's going to be against straight criminals, and I'm assuming we're going to be able to use whoever we want. Nope, Earth Defenders. But alright. So, I'm going to go Adam Eve, Armored. Blue Mark. We're going to go regular Adam Eve in the back line to take care of the team. And then we're going to go East 2. And we're going to put this one in the back. All right, let's see how that rocks. See how that team goes. Now, while this is going on, I want to talk about some criminals. Now, a lot of people have been asking me about criminals lately. Asking me, like, is Dinosaurus worth it? Is Komodo Dragon better? Is Doc Seismic worth building? Is Powerplex worth building? Do you recommend building a Mauler team? Is Angstrom good for a Mauler team? Yada, 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 yada. So, I'm going to say this right here. My thoughts on Dinosaurus is I think he was a bit overhyped when he dropped because we were waiting so long for a new hero. He is good, and I will say he's good, but I don't think he's anywhere near as good as people made him seem. He's definitely a GD Ops character, not an arena character, mainly because, once again, Anissa, anybody with the Anissa, with the human tag, Anissa just demolishes. So that's why I didn't get my hopes up on him too much, even though I do think he is good. But the reason why I say I think people overjumped him, and it was mainly, I think, because of the nerf to Komodo Dragon. People were looking at Dinosaurus as maybe he can be the replacement. I still would say Komodo Dragon is better than Dinosaurus. Speaking of dragons, I would love to see Master Leon added to the game. Or Master Leon, however you say his name. I would love to see him added to the game. I feel like he would be a really cool character art to add. As far as Powerplex is very good. Now, Powerplex is unique because Powerplex can work on multiple kinds of teams. You can put Powerplex in the front line of a Mauler team and it works. You can put Powerplex in the back line of a Technologist team and it works. You can put Powerplex in a weird combination of some type of criminal technologist with Earth Defenders or World Beyond heroes, and it works. So Powerplex isn't someone that's a bad person to build or a like must have. He's not like anywhere on the bottom or the highest of tops. He's somewhere in that neutral middle ground area, and I see that the scale and opinion on him fluctuates a lot. So like I'll have some people be like, "Oh, he's pretty useless." I'll have some people be like, "Oh my god, he's the pinnacle of the peak. He's the best." Da da da. So for me, I think I ranked him in the B tier the last time I did a tier list video. And now that I've thought about it and seen more people's opinions on him, I will agree. I do think he's an A tier because of how many teams he can work in. But I could not, for the life of me, I could not do what some people were saying that he's an S tier character. Hell no. Powerplex is not an S tier character, not even close. Powerplex is a good team binder. He's a good team binder, but he is not the team, if that makes sense. Like a Doc Seismic team, it's called a Doc Seismic team for a reason. Like Komodo Dragon he is the team. Like if you put him in that front line and you're building a criminal team, he needs to stay alive for that team to even work. Like certain characters, they are the team. Like if that person drops, the team fails. Like people like Donald. Like Donald is when you put Donald and the Shapesmith with other people, Donald and Shapesmith are the team. Like the other people around them are just supporters. Because those two are the team. So that's the same way I feel about Doc Seismic. Powerplex is one of those guys that he's a good team binder. He's a very good helper of a team, but he's not the end all be all for most criminal teams. Unless you're using a Mauler team, then yes, I will say he is a pretty important factor in that type of team. But even then, I wouldn't say he's the complete, utter, only binder of it. So I would say to build the Powerplex, it is worth it because he does have a case file, I believe. I think. Yeah. I can't stop yawning. He does have I believe a case file. And on top of that, he does work with a lot of characters. And I have a feeling there's going to be a lot more characters that are technologists or technically knowledgeably advanced or whatever you want to call it. So I can see him working with a lot of the future characters come to the game. Somebody, for the example, maybe of a tech jacket. Maybe even Mr. Leone can be looked at as a technologist. I'm surprised Machine Head's not a technologist. But I guess technologist is someone that's like good with science, right? I'm assuming that's what it is. Like you're like a science nerd. You're a tech guy. But I would assume someone like Mr. Leone and Machine Head should be technologists. I would just assume that because Machine Head is literally part machine. He's part robot. And then for Mr. Leone, he has an entire robotic metal jaw. But I guess they don't know about this stuff. They just had them implanted. I don't know. That's why I was very surprised when I saw Machine Head didn't have technologist tag. But I would assume someone like Zoe, because of the suit, she might have the technologist tag. So who knows? But I am gonna say this. Angstrom, on the other hand, Angstrom, as much as I shit on him and I don't tell people to build him, he actually is really good. And Angstrom, I would say, doesn't have as many teams that he works on as Powerplex. But Angstrom is also pretty freaking good. His one ability to give his team 14 or 15%, I think it is, of a random stat is just that alone is just really good because he can just randomly give his team 15% attack boost for the whole battle, and it's like, damn, okay. He can just randomly give his team 15% life bleach, and like, oh, okay, appreciate it, thank you. He can just randomly give his team 15% critical damage. Like, that random stat boost is actually really good, and I think if you max it, I think you can get it up to like 20% or 18%, something like that. So, it's not a bad character to have. He's just not someone that you should be wasting your resource into if you are free to play. That's why I always shit on him. And maybe I don't explain that enough when I'm talking about characters. I, for the most part, when I am trying to give people advice, I am factoring in the fact of you're playing free. That's what I try to do for the most people because most people are playing free. Or at least low spending. And I don't want to advise you to build characters that aren't going to be on your primary team. But I do also have to agree and understand, which one of my viewers made a point. You do need to build other characters to have a wider roster, especially for GTA Ops. If you only focus on what your main team is, then you're not going to have characters for GTA Ops. And that is fully true. That's why I personally built my teams in a wider scale. I didn't just tunnel vision focus one team. But I also do know that it's easier to tunnel focus vision one team if you are free to play, because that way you are able to actually build a team that's strong and be able to compete in all the aspects you probably want to compete in. So what I'm going to tell you this is, the best thing to do is have a point A, a team A, a team B, and a team C. You have a team A, which is your arena team. This is the main core team that you want to use for arena. So those are your top 5 guys you want to be building. And then have around anywhere from 4 to 8 other characters that you are okay with building, that you like, and that you think or know that will be able to help you in GTA missions, and maybe down the line, maybe even restricted arena. So the top 5, I would say, for most people, especially if you're free to play. And I always shit on this character once again, but OG Mark. OG Mark is a very friendly beginner character. Doc Seismic is a very friendly beginner character and even endgame character. He's very good. Adam Eve and Robot. Robot, I would say, is more beginner friendly. Adam Eve is a little harder in the beginning, but once you start to get her leveled up, she's a lot more endgame friendly. Omni-Man, very beginner friendly, very endgame friendly. Beginner friendly, he does a lot of damage, but he dies a little quickly. There's ways to get around that. Blue Suit Mark is very obtainable now, so I would say he's somewhat beginner friendly, but I would say that he's somewhat the same as Omni-Man. They're both really big damage dealers, but die very easily. And then for the criminal aspect, like I said, Doc Seismic, Powerplex is beginner friendly. Angstrom is very beginner friendly. I wouldn't say Komodo Dragon is beginner friendly, but he is like a good mid for beginners. Like for a beginner, if you have a Komodo Dragon, he will help you. Shapesmith is not beginner friendly, but he is needed. Because there's not many ways to get him, so that's why he's not beginner friendly. Beginner friendly basically means you are able to rapidly, easily get copies of this character. From some people, they think like, oh, that means they're not a good character. Like, no. Beginner friendly just means you're able to build them very fast. You're able to build them very fast because you're able to get a constant amount of them. Wow, we lost that. That was tough. Let me see. Maybe we can... I want to try something. What if we swap out our Adam Eve for Seance Dog? What if we do that? What if we do that? Will he do a better job of keeping them alive? Probably not, right? But yeah, I don't want people to mistake the fact when I say beginner friendly with bad. Beginner friendly just basically means you're able to get a lot of copies of them. So some of the best characters in the game, you're just not going to be able to get a lot of copies of. That did not work out. Some of the characters in the game, you're just not going to be able to get a lot of copies of, and that's just what it is. Like, for example, Space Racer is really good. He's just not beginner friendly. He's not someone that I'm going to tell you, oh yeah, put Space Racer in your team. I can't tell you that because for the most part, the common casual player, the common free to play player, isn't going to be able to have a Space Racer in their team, and if they do, they're not going to be able to progress him. The same way goes for other characters such as Conquest. Even though you need to have him in your team, he's one of the best. He's one of the best characters in the game, if not the best character in the game. Because I think he is the best character in the game, and I think he is the best tank in the game. Yeah, if you don't have a Conquest and an Anissa, a Universa, you need those characters. But at the same time, you can't do anything if you can't get them. Conquest you can't get other than codes. Anissa you can't get other than events. So at the end of the day, it's not much you can do about that type of stuff other than wait and get them that way. Only thing the smart thing will do is to be educated on the characters that you should be going for. That way when their events drop, you go for them. But I'm going to be done yapping. And that's as far as we're going to get. What are we going to earn from this? We're going to earn around 200 gems. I'll take it. But that's all for this one. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for rocking with me. If you guys have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. And let me know down below your favorite criminal that is in the game. And let me know which criminal would you like to see come to the game. Once again, for me, I would say Mr. Leone, I believe his name is, the little dragon guy. I would definitely love to see him come to the game. Maybe there's some other criminals that you guys know that maybe I don't know, or maybe that we've seen in the show that some people don't really talk about. Would you guys like to see them come to the game? And if you do, who is it? But I love you guys so much. I'm gonna catch you guys next time. Peace and love, baby.